played very well in the net during the third period last night, allowed 1 goal, made 14 saves. Seawolves come away with it off the drop, but quickly turn it over to Wisconsin. Goes back for Hensler. Hensler up into the neutral ice. As now Wisconsin regains control of the puck. Mosely sends it down along the boards, and Wisconsin's going to retreat.
You can already see the Seawolves operating with the forecheck very aggressively so far, and that's what we expected to see in game 1, and exactly what wound up happening, and it kind of wound up backfiring on Alaska Anchorage. They were able to get some turnovers, but the Badgers, you score so quickly, and suddenly you kind of go from very aggressive to when you get down with that mindset, you got to kind of go all out. Then you make it 2-0, you just got to keep trying to build upon, and suddenly you blink and you're down 6-0 in the game. So
Seawolves got a full line change early as that gave Wisconsin time to send it all the way down the ice. Fitzgerald goes to greet the puck in the far corner, but coming away with it is Connor Merritt. Merritt flips it up into the air into the neutral ice, collecting his Ryan Johnson, but it's Hensler there to greet the puck and slap it away. Now back into the neutral ice as Laskowski loses it, and Connor Merritt's going to go try and chase it down on the left boards, but not before Logan Hensler catches up with the puck. Now Merritt takes it away. Ryan Johnson looking for the one-timer, but it goes out to Potter. Potter's shot goes wide left of the net, and Wisconsin is able to clear it at long last. Fitzgerald taking it in on the right side. Fitzgerald had a nice look on the net, but Tyler Kritzov in perfect position, getting tested early here in this game too. Now it's Ryan Johnson on the left wing. Johnson turns it around. He's getting shoved up into the boards by Jack Horbach.
And that was a real snapshot right there of what yesterday was, is that you saw that Seawolves get that steal behind the Badgers net, wind up turning into a good opportunity, then the Badgers on the other end, in the chaos, Fitzgerald able to sneak in there, snatch possession, and go down. It was kind of how it was.
Seawolves forcing a turnover there in the Wisconsin defensive zone. Pass out in front of the net, but no one able to handle it. Here comes the Badgers. Horbach is going to flip it down there and try and chase down his own puck as it floats beyond the goal line.
And that right there, that's why you stick with the uber aggressive mindset. If you get that 1-0 lead, it changes everything.
Badgers send it back into the neutral ice. It's Dexheimer. Dexheimer charging in. Puck deflected. That makes for an easy glove save for Tyler Kritzov.
And Kritzov, you said before, Evan, was pretty decent because the Badgers scored 4 goals in that second period, came out in the third, scored 1 early, so didn't feel like they were necessarily taking their foot off the gas entirely. Then the rest of that game, able to rack up 14 saves with just the 1 goal allowed. So, and obviously, when you're up that much, just kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit. But hey, these players, they like scoring goals. They're going to keep trying to do it throughout the full 60 minutes, regardless of what the score is.
And Wisconsin's offense is rejuvenated, now 18 goals over their past 3 games after scoring 18 goals in their first 10 games of the season. Keeping it in at the left point is Scholl. Scholl's sending it down. Now in the left circle, Tyson Dick going for Sawyer Scholl. Scholl back down for Dick. Dick jammed up against the boards, and the Badgers will now send it back around for Zach Scholes, who quickly sends it right back.
And this is a spot where Seawolves got to watch out. Badgers were really good in the centering passes yesterday.
Dexheimer going across the ice. Dexheimer sending a long shot in, looking for a deflection there. Unable to find one. Seawolves resetting behind their net as Wisconsin making some substitutions. Now they'll begin the attack. It goes up to Jared White. White takes it into the Wisconsin zone on the right side. White being hounded by Daniel Losh, trying to flip it back in front of the net, but it stays behind the Badgers' net. The whistle is blown, and we should get a face-off here in the Wisconsin zone.
Hey, tell you what, Seawolves making the Badgers work, especially in the crease. Only 1 goal against Scarfoni yesterday, but Evan, you'd have to say that could have easily been 2 or 3 goals for the Seawolves.
Yeah, the Seawolves had a couple of good looks against Tommy Scarfoni, but the one thing they didn't do was they didn't get Scarfoni out of position in front of the net. Even when they had a close shot on goal, it seemed like Scarfoni was well aware of where the puck was. As the Seawolves looking to get another shot in on net, can't do so. Puck loose in front of the net, tipped away momentarily. Potter was looking to get a shot off, as the Seawolves forced to take it back beyond the blue line. Now it's Quinn Finley trying to get in there, but unable to take it away.
I like what I'm seeing right now from Alaska Anchorage. Where they struggled the most yesterday was controlling possession. Wisconsin, they just were able to assert their will throughout this game. It felt like that they held the puck throughout the vast majority of it. But right now, you're seeing Seawolves string some passes together. Talk about a change in the lines. I think the only line that stayed the same for them was their second line defense. And you're starting to see it so far, so good. Still less than 5 minutes in.
And yesterday, Anchorage's aggression seemed to work against them. Whenever they would come on the forecheck, Wisconsin was able to use that to get out and get numbers in transition. But early on, haven't seen that as much today. But just as we said, here comes Wisconsin. Laskoski
nice block.
Was looking for Fitzgerald. Now it's Aiden Weston in on the right side. Weston from a tough angle, saved by Scarfoni.
Weston didn't have a point yesterday, but he had everything but the finish. Had some excellent breaks all by himself, slicing through Badger defenders, some nice passes as well. It was good performance despite not able to get on the box score.
Fitzgerald takes it away in the neutral ice, backhands it down into the corner as Wisconsin will let the Seawolves reset here. Now it goes up for Dylan Contreras. He had the Seawolves' lone goal yesterday. Contreras now on the right wing, centering pass in front of the net is knocked away by Wisconsin.
That's the captain, Owen Lindmark, reading that centering pass well, getting back in position, preventing Kebrew from finding a lane.
Now it's Wisconsin coming the other way. Ben Dexheimer passing it off the left boards, looking for Owen Mellenbacher. Mellenbacher shoved up against the wall as Dylan Finlay will send that one down. Will icing be called here? No, it will not, as Max Helgeson was able to chase it down in time, but quickly back the other way. Helgeson looking for Connor Cole there. Jack Horbach turning it around.
Badgers coming into this game at 5-8 on the season. They're a team that they very much struggle on offense, only had more than 2 goals once before their series against Penn State 2 weeks ago, and since then they've scored 18 throughout those 3 games.
Up into the right point, and a long shot goes down wide right of the goal. Wisconsin sending another shot in, that one coming from Pietola, as now it's clustered up against the wall behind the net. Handed it off for Daniel Losh, and Losh sends it right back down. Wisconsin unable to get pressure in front of the net of Tyler Kritzov to this point. Now it's Pietola from the dot, and a save from Kritzov. And it's a delayed penalty. Tommy Scarfoni is leaving the net, as no Seawolf has touched the puck quite yet, so a delayed penalty for the Wisconsin Badgers. 13 minutes to go here in the first period. It's Finley on the left side racing in. Finley, tough angle, saved by Kritzov. The whistle blows, and the Badgers are going to get their first power play of the game.
Badgers were real good on the power play yesterday, 2 of 4, area that they've struggled with on the year.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Here in the first period of a scoreless contest between the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Cody Laskoski now giving it back for Daniel Losh, but Max Helgeson is there to chase the puck down behind the Badgers' net. Helgeson fighting with Hensler, and now it goes to Kyle Kukkonen. Kukkonen will get it up into the neutral ice as Fitzgerald now has room. Fitzgerald onto the left side, trying to drop it off for Daniel Losh. Now over center of the ice, Dexheimer, that one saved by Kritzov.
We give Kritzov credit for making this save, but against the Badgers who thrived off for rebounds yesterday, gotta be sure to get that one firmly in the glove.
Off the right boards for Phelan. Phelan around the boards now, trying to find Kyle Kukkonen, but retrieving is Christian Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sends it right back as Anthony Kerr tries to make his presence known. The Seawolves clear the puck, and Vince, so far in this game, we haven't seen very many shots, just 4 for Wisconsin, 2 for Alaska Anchorage. Last night, Wisconsin outshooting Anchorage 38-19.
Yeah, especially so in that first period. I feel like Wisconsin just able to do such a good job of stringing together those passes. Even when they'd miss, I touched on before, those rebounds, they would just keep firing and firing, peppering away, keeping possession. We just have not seen that so far. More not due to the fact that Alaska Anchorage is making saves, just that there's really no saves to be made thus far. Badgers just are not getting their lanes fully solidified in Alaska Anchorage. They've been real disciplined thus far. That being said, it's still clear that although Seawolves have had their chance, it's still the Badgers have been controlling possession throughout this match.
Dylan Contreras trying to clear. but it goes back down into the right corner. Contreras fighting Horbach, but keeping it in at the right point is Dexheimer. Now over for Scholl. Scholl shooting, but goes wide left of the net. And the whistle blows. We'll wait to see what the call is here with 7 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first.
Badger power play.
And it looks like
It'll be Atchison.
Logan Atchison is skating to the penalty box. Interference is going to be the call against Atchison, so Wisconsin will get their second power play here in the first period. Anchorage did a great job on the penalty kill early.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Atchison, definitely some physicality there. Definitely not an egregious amount, though.
Goes up to Dexheimer. Dexheimer over right side. Now back up top for Dexheimer. Dexheimer over on the left wing for Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey taking his time, trying to look inside. Morrissey searching, now goal line. Mosely tried on the one-timer, but he whiffed, and the Seawolves are able to clear it all the way down the ice.
Yeah, that there is a definitive bullet dodge right there for the Seawolves. Mosely, who's a fantastic passer for the Badgers, absolutely set up his teammate well, just could not quite time it up.
Now it's Quinn Finley in the left corner. Finley sending it around, and Ben Dexheimer is able to get there. Now back up top for Dexheimer. Dexheimer looking maybe for a one-timer there. Instead, the pass goes in front of the net, now behind the net. Goes to Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey down to the goal line, centering pass, looking for Quinn Finley coming in on the right side. And now Dexheimer can't keep it in the zone. Max Helgeson short-handed all by himself, looking for an opportunity, but not much doing there.
And the Badgers have just been camped out by that near side post.
Here's Owen Lindmark. Lindmark trying to use his speed, but a nice save there from Tyler Kritsov.
Been impressed with Lindmark thus far, able to recognize that he had a corner to turn there and just said, heck with it, I'll do it all by myself.
Yeah, a lot of time on the power play, you'll see guys try and set up the offense, and maybe Owen Lindmark trying to catch Alaska Anchorage off guard. 42 seconds remain here on the power play, 6:31 to go in the first. Wisconsin 2 for 4 on the power play last night, coming into this matchup 22.9% on the season. Goes up for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's back down into the corner, but Kyle Kukkonen couldn't handle it, and that's going to be Will Shimek clearing the puck.
Good revenge for Shimek there. Got burned by Lindmark initially on that drive before, and now able to make a nice play and clear it down.
Here's Dexheimer. Dexheimer on the right side. A lot of speed from Dexheimer, trying to almost use the same move as Owen Lindmark, except for the other side, to get around his defender. But once again, Tyler Kritsov using his body well and covering up the puck.
I think that might have been Hensler on the shot there, but talented player for the Badgers. He's had a nose for the goal, and Mike Hastings has been a big fan of him so far. Once again, you've seen his back-to-back times now where the Badgers are able to find that lane and sneak around Alaska Anchorage. You gave them credit before for how they performed on the penalty kill, not giving the Badgers any lanes, not any grade A chances. Now the Badgers have had nothing but opportunities.
A nice job, though, by Tyler Kritsov of recognizing, and Kritsov with another glove save there. But Kritsov on that play with Hensler skating in, recognizing that Hensler had a defender right behind him, comes out of his net a little bit.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
This power play, and Wisconsin has yet to get a shot off, cleared once again by the Seawolves.
There definitely is a point where you got to give credit to the Seawolves for what they're doing, but Wisconsin, it was an issue last year. It seems to be an issue again this year. This power play just not quite stringing it together as well as they'd like.
Finley on the left side looking in for Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey now gets it on the boards. And that's going to be Alex Gomez coming away with it. Gomez to the goal line where it's taken away by Wisconsin, sent up by Ryland Mosely. Now over right side, Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey will turn it around, send a pass up for Jack Phelan. Phelan down to Quinn Finley. Finley going to take it behind the net, turns it around. Finley back up for Phelan. 3 seconds to go on the power play. Finley shooting and deflected up above the net. Another shot coming in, and Kritsov is able to cover that one up after the power play has been killed. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first period, and Alaska Anchorage is putting on a penalty kill masterclass in the first.
Yeah, you said it, and it's going to be a fun storyline for these Seawolves fans to watch the rest of this year. I feel like that Greg Oro's, the keeper yesterday, kind of had that starting spot solidified throughout most of this year, but you're seeing Kritsov get some more chances, and it's been so far so good. You might see that being a split situation here if he keeps this up.
And you look at the shots, just 8-5 in favor of Wisconsin, as Alaska Anchorage wants to keep those numbers as low as possible. Shot coming in, saved by Kritsov. A rebound in front of the net goes out to Phelan. Phelan, long shot, looking for a deflection. Pietola knocked down in front of the net, and Alaska Anchorage is able to get it out of their zone. As Tommy Scarfoni almost hit that one out of play. Now it's Shimek. Shimek had a clear look on net, but Scarfoni gobbles that one up.
Well, Scarfoni, kind of similar to yesterday again, where only 5 saves, or make it 6 right now. But you can just see that there's an element of quality over quantity there, and that's was another crazy stat from when Seawolves was able to take down the Badgers, that Badgers had 42 shots on the day compared to just 20 for Alaska Anchorage. It's going to be awful tough to outshoot the Badgers, although the margin is fairly close. Just a matter of just getting one of those to go and then lean on some good goalkeeping.
As Aiden Weston comes away with it in his own defensive zone, now up into the neutral ice where Ryan Johnson isn't able to control it. Daniel Losh back the other way. Here's Jack Horbach. Horbach, a long shot, and Tyler Kritsov is able to glove that one. Didn't look to be, wasn't necessarily a great look for Horbach, but he got a lot of steam behind that puck.
Yeah, that's kind of been part of why the Badgers have had so much success as of late on offense, because it hasn't always been their traditional goals in terms of getting right up in there. They've been willing to fire from distance. It's been working out very well for them. So you understand the mentality, but it looks like that Kritsov's really just locked in right now, not catching him sleeping. That being said, it felt like that when it rains, it can pour, and Greg Oro's learned that the hard way yesterday, and the Badgers wound up scoring 6 goals against him. So it can flip on a dime immediately.
And Horbach's shot was just under the stick of Gunnar Van Dam. It was a tough look for Horbach, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Is flip on a dime a real phrase? I'll take your silence as no.
Now greeting the puck is Kritsov. Kritsov back to the right side. Is it kept in up at the right point? Yes, it is, by Ben Dexheimer. Dexheimer collapsing on the net. Dexheimer now takes it behind the goal line, up for Kyle Kukkonen. One-timer, but not everything on that. A broken stick now on the right side. Puck loose in front of the net. Kukkonen couldn't get a clean shot off. Now it's up for Ben Anderson. Anderson is knocked down. Just 23 seconds remaining here in the first period. Wisconsin's going to try and get one final opportunity as Dexheimer flips it down the ice. Now Dylan Contreras trying to get it up. Wisconsin knocks it back down into the Anchorage zone. And here comes Anchorage. Just 6 seconds in the to go in the period. The whistle blows. Looks like this will be offsides against the Seawolves.
That was Dylan Contreras there, a little antsy getting into the offensive zone. I think it was him leading the way. Offsides will go on. And I think that will go on Max Helgeson. Contreras, he had the lone goal for Alaska Anchorage yesterday. It was a good one.
So the drop coming in the neutral ice with just 5 seconds to go, and barring a crazy moment here, it looks like we'll go into the first intermission in a scoreless contest. Wisconsin wins the draw, and Phelan is going to take it behind the net as time expires here in the first. Vince, you'd have to say quite an impressive showing from Alaska Anchorage after getting taken down 7-1 last night.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done some good things for sure, despite committing a ton of penalties to still keep this game scoreless. And look, if you're the big underdog, this is what you want to do here. Just keep it at zeros.
Back with second period action between the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves here on Big Ten Plus. The score remains 0-0 as we begin the second period. Alaska Anchorage quickly out. Shot coming in from White goes up over the net.
Well, I wonder if that momentum is going to continue into the second period, and feels like you got to give a ton of credit to Alaska Anchorage. They go down 7-1 yesterday. How often do you see a team the second game of the series just kind of throw their hands in the air? But they have came out and they have looked really good thus far.
And Vince, we chatted a little bit during the break. Quinn Finley, Ryland Mosely, and Gavin Morrissey, none of them got a shot off during the first period, despite the fact Wisconsin had 3 power plays.
And that's your front line right there. They combined for 11 total points yesterday. So for them to just limit them is one thing, but to completely shut them down despite having 3 penalties on you in the period, that is really impressive stuff. I guess that's why you're the best there is, Evan. That was a good stat to dig up.
Owen Mellenbacher now trapped up against the boards, and the Seawolves going to come away with this one. It's White. White getting it up for Anderson, and Anderson clears the zone. Herbach in the neutral ice, able to get that one down the left boards. Wisconsin gets an early change. Anthony Kerr getting in the way of a pass in the neutral ice, but Aiden Weston quickly picks it up for the Seawolves, and the Seawolves now reset in their own zone.
And I think this is kind of going to plan right now if you're Alaska Anchorage right now, because in hockey, it's like you string together good passes, make the right play, and you're going to get a chance to score. But the key word there is chance. So although the Badgers have been doing some good things, there's no guarantee you're going to get it in the net. Just want to decrease that time, decrease that sample size, and you just need one, and then you can kind of go into defensive mode. But big key to that win for...
Well, here's Laskowski on the right side. Laskowski, not sure if that was a pass or a shot, goes wide left of the net nonetheless. Now down in the left corner, Wisconsin digs it out. Up for Dexheimer. Dexheimer, he'll shoot that one back around the boards. Kukkonen fighting for the puck. Kukkonen unable to get it by the defender up the right boards. Seawolves initially cleared, but Kukkonen takes it back in. Now for Laskowski. Laskowski looking for Sawyer Scholl, but deflected up in the air. Now Kukkonen trying to find Laskowski once again in front of the net, and the Seawolves are able to clear a long shot coming in on Tommy Scarfoni.
Well, going back to that point I made before about that win that Alaska Anchorage had before, is that a big key to it is that their goalkeeper just kind of blacked out in a
now turned over in front of the net, and a backhand shot, not much steam behind that one. Routine save for Kritsov.
And in that win, it was Jared Whale, transfer now at New Hampshire with a 93 save percentage there. He had the game of his life against the Badgers last year, 41 saves and no goals allowed, and you kind of need someone to replicate that performance thus far. You got to say, so far so good for Tyler Kurvstov. He's looked good thus far.
I mean, he has been as good as the Seawolves could have asked for between the pipes. Now it's Logan Hensler. Hensler knocked down, but still sends it around. Trapped up in the right corner, and that puck's going to float free. Alaska Anchorage trying to take it back. Still in the zone. Kept within the blue line for now as it's poked over for JP Steele. Steele up for Atkinson. Atkinson long pass looking for Max Helgeson. If he had connected with him, Helgeson might have had a wide open look in front of Tommy Scarfoni.
Yep, found a gap in the Badgers defense.
Now Quinn Finley back up to the point. A long shot, rebound out in front of the net. Puck is loose, and it goes to the boards where Alaska Anchorage has control of it. It's Atkinson. And now Wisconsin winning the battle in the neutral ice. It was really Alaska Anchorage that dominated the neutral ice in the first, but here in the second, Wisconsin has been able to win some of those battles.
Amazing how frequently that winds up being the key to the game. You think of stringing together those possessions on the far ends of the ice, but just being able to slice through the neutral zone easy, it not only does it help you get into the offense well, but you prevent those back-breaking turnovers that can create those breaks.
And Finley's able to get a stick on that one to avoid icing.
And that was really another key to the Badgers having that 7-1 win yesterday, is they just sliced through neutral ice like it was butter. Just stringing together passes very well. You could see that this team, the chemistry was growing quite a bit. It feels like they're taking a step backwards here.
Up for Gunnar Van Dam. Van Dam, one-timer now from the right side, goes behind the net. Puck squirts back in front of the net of Tommy Scarfoni, but Owen Mellenbacher able to calm things down momentarily. Seawolves take it away once again from the right point. Long shot, kick save from Scarfoni.
Nice.
Oh, now a long pass coming up for Mellenbacher. Mellenbacher in front of the net. but Joey Potter was able to knock it free. Now it goes to Jack Horbach. Horbach has it poked free by Joey Potter beyond the goal line, but Potter's pass finds a white sweater once again. This time it's Daniel Losh. Losh drops it off for Lindmark, who slaps it around the boards. Now Horbach trapped up against the wall.
And that was Owen Mellenbach on the initial attack. Does not have any points despite having double digits last year. You can just tell he wants that first goal bad. He was incredibly active yesterday. He's dealt with some injuries thus far in the year. And as a freshman, you definitely expect him to develop, be a key contributor for Badger teams present and future. But man, just be a great guy to get going.
It was a great defensive play, though, by Joey Potter to knock it free. Now here comes Jared White. White from a tough angle. A save from Tommy Scarfoni. Now up for Laskoski. Laskoski chasing it down behind the net. Laskoski is bodied out of the way. As Anchorage now going to flip this one up into the seats. Nice work there, though, from Logan Atkinson. As we see the shot here on Scarfoni. A little rebound in front of the net, but no one there for Anchorage to take advantage.
And you really do got to give a lot of credit to Tommy Scarfoni. I know we've been giving Tyler Krivstov his flowers, rightfully so, but Scarfoni, he's been in a goalkeeper battle against William Grandma this year, and he dealt with some injuries. For him to come back and suddenly, your point, Evan, start 4 straight games, feels like he's making some progress and pulling away despite a really shaky start.
Yeah, and this is now his 9th game of the season, whereas William Grandma, who he's been in that battle for, has started just 4 games. So you wonder if he'll become the everyday goalie. Long shot coming in from Anthony Kerr, skirts left of the goal. Now back around and loose in front of the net. Phelan trying to chase it down. Instead, he'll get it back up top for Pietola. His shot is going to be covered up by Kritsov.
Back to the goalkeeping point for Wisconsin. A lot's been made of that big shot differential on the year. At one point, they led the nation despite only having 2 wins and 8 losses. But on one side of that said their shot percentage was really low. I believe it was under 6% at one point this year. But on the flip side, that means that your opponents are also shooting incredibly efficient. So the Badgers have needed more production from their keepers. And although that Tommy Scarfoni, he was the reigning ACHA goalkeeper of the year, you kind of need him to get back in the form. You wonder if the lights of the Big Ten were a little bit too bright. Well, you can see some development from him right here.
Yeah, and those 2 road wins against Penn State were crucial for Tommy Scarfoni. I mean, from a confidence perspective as well as, as a team, Wisconsin needed those wins. Now it's Hensler. Hensler trying to drop it off, but Anchorage able to kick it free beyond the blue line. Wisconsin takes it right back in. It's Dexheimer. Dexheimer, his shot was saved by Kritsov once again.
Dexheimer was such a big contributor for the Badgers last year.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
It goes into the neutral ice, sent down once again. 4:15 remaining here in the second period.
And I think something the Badgers can take a little bit of comfort in is that I think you nailed it, Evan, that it could easily be a 1-0 game. So what the Badgers can think is that if they are able to get that 1 goal, suddenly you're forcing Alaska Anchorage to shift back into that aggressive mindset that led to them going down 7-1 yesterday.
But Vince, that's a double-edged sword. It could go either way, as here comes Kyle Kukkonen on the right side. Kukkonen tripped up as now he's going to skate to the bench as Shimek will reset behind the Seawolves net. Neither side looks like they're anxious to get the action going here, as here comes Shimek. Now trying to get it up to Connor Cole, but hit the other way and back behind the goal line of Alaska Anchorage. Shimek looking for Helgeson, but getting in the way is Phelan. Now back down Joey Potter. And kept in the zone. Oh, pass for Finley. Finley in front of the net, but a nice save by Tyler Kritsov. Wide open look for Quinn Finley right there. Now up on the right side as that one escapes beyond the blue line. And here comes Kebrew. Kebrew goes tumbling down to the ice alongside Anthony Kerr. Goes up for Gavin Morrissey now. Morrissey has some space in the center of the ice, passing it off for Pietola. Pietola back for Morrissey. Morrissey hits it down behind the net for Quinn Finley, and Finley is knocked down to the ice. No whistle blown, no call there. Finley still trapped up against the boards. He hasn't moved much over the past 5-10 seconds. Still down in the right corner. Finley flips it down for Mosely. Mosely now passing it behind the net. That's Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey taking it up above the goal line. One-timer coming in wide left of the net. And off the boards, it comes out right in front of Tyler Kritsov, who falls on the puck with 2:18 to play here in the second period.
Seen the Badgers in that off, moving without the puck, doing a good job of it. Finley recognized there's a gap on that far end of the ice, using it well.
And it has been an impeccable performance from Tyler Kritsov, who has now made 22 saves. Schultz one-timer, way too many bodies in front of the net. Now up for Dexheimer. Dexheimer, Schultz, another one-timer, that one wide left. Dexheimer takes it back, stick loose in front of the net. That's of a Seawolves player. Long shot from Dexheimer. That took a deflection up into the netting. And a much-needed stoppage for Tyler Kritsov and Alaska Anchorage with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to play.
It's been so surprised about Kritsov's success that he really has struggled on the year. Entered this game despite racking up 14 saves, 1 goal allowed yesterday. Still just an .860 save percentage entering this game. Last time he had a full game, it was against Lake Superior State. Allowed 4 goals, just 14 saves. So he really has not brought out his best. You could even say going a level above what you consider the best could be.
And you just saw that one-timer from Schultz. That one had a lot of velocity on it, but just about a foot wide left of the net.
Badgers have struggled with depth this year, and Schultz has been hurt, was a contributor last year, so it's good to have him back. You can see what he brings.
Seawolves win the draw here in their own defensive zone, and they are able to clear. Dexheimer retreating, gets it up for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in the neutral ice, turns it over to Jared White. But now Dexheimer trying to make his presence felt as Wisconsin takes over. Up on the right side, but tumbling down is Fitzgerald, quickly back on his feet. Now it's Kyle Kukkonen as the whistle blows. 1:37 to play here in the second.
Wisconsin got number 13, 2 minutes slashing.
Ooh, Christian Fitzgerald is going to be called for slashing, which is going to put Alaska Anchorage on their first power play of the game with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining in the second period. Anchorage had 1 power play last night. It was a 5-minute power play, but they were unable to do anything with it. As we take a look at the replay, Fitzgerald's called for slashing. Didn't really see it there.
Alaska Anchorage 17% on the power play this year. Area that they've struggled. This might be the biggest 2 minutes of this game. Will be a split power play into the third period, but you talk about needing, just get yourself that opportunity. This is a golden one right now for Alaska Anchorage. Just a moment you put it in, give yourself that lead.
Wisconsin able to get a line change after clearing the puck. So 1 minute and 12 seconds remains here in the second period. 23 additional seconds on the power play. Connor Cole trying to get it up for Ryan Johnson. Johnson stuck up against the boards, keeping it in up at the right point. Now it's over for Kebrew. Kebrew centering pass over for Cole. Had that one been on target, Cole might have had a nice look. Cole now spins it around up for Finley. Finley from the point now back down for Connor Cole. Cole into the face-off circle. That pass was deflected off the skate of Owen Limmark. Now it's up for Finley. Finley over for Kebrew. Kebrew skating in, takes the shot, rebound loose, and it's knocked back to the boards. But Alaska Anchorage still controls the puck. Back over left wing for Kebrew. One-timer, deflected, another shot, and that one didn't get by the goal line.
I think it might have.
Alaska Anchorage, and now they're calling it a goal. Oh, Alaska Anchorage takes a 1-0 lead with 26.3 seconds to play here in the second period. It was unclear whether or not it had gotten by that goal line behind Tommy Scarfoni, but it looked like it did.
Yeah, officials circling up. It sure looked like it snuck all the way over to me, and get another look at it right here.
So the call on the ice is a goal. That's very important, but we'll look at a replay. Here goes behind Tommy Scarfoni, and it doesn't bounce before Daniel Losh knocks it back out. So it's tough to tell if it completely crossed.
Yeah, this could be another one of those classic ruling on the ice. Here they come.
Well, that one didn't take much time, did it, Vince? The
No.
ball on the ice stands, and Alaska Anchorage has taken a 1-0 lead.
Ryan Johnson came into this series red hot. Did not play well yesterday. Got to move to the second line, but you can see him. He earns himself the goal, and almost like he threw a bit of a changeup at Scarfoni. It'll leak back out to him. He'll just flip it over the top. Scarfoni. Oh, it looks like it was Kerr who tapped it.
Punched it up into the air, and it goes behind Tommy Scarfoni. You can't make that up.
Well, see puck, hit puck, but yeah, almost like it. You know, it's more of an assist going to be awarded to Kerr there. I think that was what wound up throwing Scarfoni off there.
Pass in front of the net. Wisconsin trying to respond, but Sawyer Scholl couldn't get it past Tommy Kritsov. Here comes Anchorage. Just 10 seconds to play here in the second period. Wisconsin able to poke that one free, and that should do it here for the second period. But Alaska Anchorage is able to get a 1-0 lead with 20 minutes of action to play. Minutes remain between the Wisconsin Badgers and the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Evan Epstein back alongside Vince Hesbrick here on Big Ten Plus. The Seawolves hold a 1-0 lead over the Wisconsin Badgers on an unconventional goal. Anthony Kerr punching the puck up into the air, and it just somehow managed to float over Tommy Scarfoni at the end of the second period.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot this game. It's only because it has provided a blueprint. November 24th, 2023, Alaska Anchorage went into the Kohl Center, scored a goal at the end of the second period, held on to win, and now, just over 1 year later, they've done the same two first parts, coming to the Kohl Center and taking that late lead, but now it's a matter of hanging on, because although Alaska Anchorage, they've done what they've wanted to do so far, there's a reason why the Badgers in the game two of that series won 5-0. There's a reason why they won 7-1 yesterday. So they've got what they wanted right now. They've got the lead. This is still going to be an uphill battle. There's going to need 20 more minutes of fantastic keeping from Tyler Krivtsov.
Morrissey shoveling that one up for Jack Horbach. Horbach going to go try and chase it down behind the net. Unable to do so as that one's flipped back around for the Seawolves. Seawolves now get it up into the neutral ice where Wisconsin quickly knocks it back for Mellenbacher. Mellenbacher has it once again on the logo. Mellenbacher passing it off right side. Looking back for Mellenbacher. Shovels it around the boards. Now it's Hensler. Hensler's shot from the goal line is saved by Tyler Kritsov, where Kritsov has been a perfect 25 for 25 on his saves in this game.
Freshman from Santa Clara. I mean, I'll admit I haven't watched every single game from his entire career going back to high school and beforehand, but this has got to be up there for a game of his life right now.
And you're seeing here really no angle there for Logan Hensler to try and get that shot in. A little bit of shoving between Jack Horbach and Will Shimek after the play. Wisconsin now just under 19 minutes to try and equalize this game up at 1.
Well, I do think that Shimek was just trying to keep Wisconsin skater on his feet there as they were stumbling. So I think that there's been some aggression in this game. I don't think there's been anything really crazy or dirty, despite some not dirty penalties early from Alaska Anchorage, but definitely some physical play.
Yeah, Alaska Anchorage, 3 penalties so far in this one. Wisconsin just 1 penalty, but Alaska Anchorage converting on the power play, and that's the lone goal in this matchup. Anchorage taking it away off the draw, up for Connor Merritt. Merritt knocks it into the neutral ice. Fitzgerald tried to get it back for Laskowski.
And to your point, Evan, I'd say the most impressive part of this performance from Alaska Anchorage, at least in that second period, no penalties to their name. And a lot of times you see penalties when the other team is living in your offensive zone, or living in your defensive zone, pardon. You got to try and use some extra physicality to avoid the goals when I'm getting dinged up for some penalties. And the Badgers, they spent the majority of that second period firing shots away, but...
Oh, turnover here in the Wisconsin defensive zone. It's Helgeson coming away with it. Now Kerr trying to get his stick in there. Kerr able to poke it free as Kyle Kukkonen now sends it behind the net. But a lot of nice work here by Anchorage on the forecheck, just burning time off this clock.
And now, right on cue, Badgers might be on the power play.
Yeah, Cody Laskowski getting knocked to the ground in the neutral ice, and Vince, you called it, that's JP Steele headed to the box. And boarding is going to be the call with 18 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. So Wisconsin now, their fourth power play opportunity. And a lot of times when you're looking to come in and upset a team on the road, this is what you have to avoid if you're Alaska Anchorage.
Yeah, I took the words out of my mouth here. Just I was giving Alaska Anchorage credit for not committing any penalties despite being in spots they definitely could be committing them. Right on cue, they set the Badgers up.
Anchorage wins the draw. Mosely fighting for it behind the net. Now it's Kyle Kukkonen trying to get it. Goes out to Quinn Finley up top for Ben Dexheimer. Dexheimer, the long shot too high. Rebounds up to Morrissey. Now it's Mosely, Morrissey up to Dexheimer. Back over Gavin Morrissey from the left wing. Centering pass for Mosely. And that one is knocked free. Here comes Anchorage with some space on the right side is Alex Gomez. That one deflected well up into the netting. 29 seconds have been killed off this Wisconsin power play.
And going back to the power play is as a whole, this will be number 4 for the Badgers. That first one, you feel like the Badgers are kind of shut down a little bit, just no one open, but those second and third ones, they really strung some nice passes together. They got themselves some looks, just couldn't quite cash in. So they've gotten better on each power play. Had this fourth one, right now it's been Alaska Anchorage.
And now a drop in the Wisconsin defensive zone on their power play. Anchorage wins the drop. Finley just sends it down into the corner. Anchorage not too aggressive here on the penalty kill. Now it's floating in front of the net. Kritsov's going to be forced to fall on that one, and wisely so, as a couple of Badgers were bearing down on the net. So now a drop down in the Anchorage zone. 1 minute and 16 seconds remain on the power play as we see Kritsov here. Yeah, Kritsov falling on the puck before any danger arrives.
But the only reason he had to do that was because Owen Lindmark came storming in despite being behind in that race. So you've been real impressed with the stuff that Lindmark has shown here. You can tell he's doing all those little things well. He's the captain of the squad.
Dexheimer over for Quinn Finley. Finley skating in, the shot covered up.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Just went wide right of the goal. Fantastic look for Daniel Losh, trying to do it all by himself.
Yeah, you could tell they're starting to zero in on it a little bit. Wonder if it will be too little too late, though, with 8:14 is the question. But, yeah, it feels like they're starting to get it by Kritsov a little bit more, but they're just a tick offline here.
Well, Jared White unable to catch up to that puck as icing is called. A better look here at the Daniel Losh. Crashing in on the net, going to the backhand, but a lot of bodies in front of the net of Tyler Kritsov, and Wisconsin is still in search of their first goal of the night. Morrissey wins the drop. Now Schultz taking the shot up from the point, goes out to the boards in the right corner.
You got to give credit to Alex Gomez there on the block. I know that a lot of credit's going to Kritsov, but you got it's a team effort here. Zeros mean that everyone to an extent is doing their job.
Puck stays trapped up here on the near boards. Dexheimer comes away with it. Dexheimer skating to his right. Dexheimer shot glove save from Tyler Kritsov.
Shot number 7 for Ben Dexheimer. You can tell that he really wants that first goal of the season. Showing the ability for the heroics last year.
And shot number 32 from the Wisconsin Badgers. You keep looking at the shot department, 32-13. They've just been unable to convert.
Yep, that's what you said before. You do all these things, it's going to give you a chance to score, but chance is the word that sticks out. No guarantee it winds up going in.
Helgeson clears for the Seawolves as Daniel Losh able to fend off Dimitri Kibra there.
Bless you.
Kibra now gets it down for Šimek, and Šimek hits that one way up into the air, where Helgeson will try and fight for it for the Seawolves, unable to do so as Daniel Losh shovels it along the boards, and Wisconsin will try and reset. Time is running out for the Wisconsin Badgers. Still 7 minutes and 10 seconds remain in this contest.
It's going to be real interesting to see if the Badgers get extra aggressive with when they pull their goalkeeper, if it comes to that, because this is where Alaska Anchorage not holding possession as long would be especially tough for them. It would potentially give the Badgers some confidence to pull that keeper extra early.
Down into the left corner it goes. Mellenbacher trying to get in front of the net, but was poked back to the boards, and here comes McNarland. McNarland's all over Zach Schultz there. Kept in at the right point, and a long shot coming in from Gunnar Van Dam as that one wrapped up into the body of Tommy Scarfoni.
That's kind of been the flip side of this. The Scarfoni, you got to say he's had himself a pretty good showing as well. That one goal, you have to say not his fault, although it's tough to even put fault on it. It was just one of those kind of goals.
It was a very strange goal. You think about it, like you said, tough to put fault, and you don't want to call it fluky, but I mean, punched up into the air, falling behind Tommy Scarfoni. It was a little bit fluky, but nonetheless, that doesn't matter. What matters is 1-0 in favor of Alaska Anchorage.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you break 6 people's ankles and take it all by yourself, or if you wind up with something like that. They're all worth the same.
Now Wisconsin charging up, passing for Finley. Finley chases it down behind the goal line. Owen Lindmark coming to help out his teammate. Lindmark trying to pass it in front of the net. No white jersey there for Wisconsin. Under 6 minutes to play here at the Kohl Center. Losh, long pass up for Finley. Finley drops it off to Lindmark. Lindmark, left side. Lindmark shot, rebound in front of the net. And it's covered up. Oh, Ryland Mosely had a fantastic opportunity on what might have been an open net on the rebound from the right side.
Yeah, excited to get another look at this one right here. You can see Krivtsov made that adjustment real quick, off his glove initially.
And it bounced into Ryland Mosely. So Mosely couldn't really get a shot down on that one.
Yeah, but you said it before, having a whole lot of room there. If he's able to get a clean stick on it, we're tied up.
Now another shot coming in, that one wide right, and Krivtsov, you know, it seems like he just wants to fall on any puck that comes within the vicinity of the net.
I mean, I guess to an extent, if it's not broken, don't fix it. He knows he's having himself an impressive game, to say the least. You just say, bring it on. Keep bringing your face-offs. I'm just not going to allow an easy one.
Well, you mentioned, when will Wisconsin pull Tommy Scarfoni? 5:34 to play here in the third period. Kukkonen kicks it up top, now over for Daniel Losh. Losh, a long shot, is deflected out of the zone.
Nice block.
But
the Badgers
Logan
had
Hensler is
there.
able to retrieve it.
Yeah, Fitzgerald was hanging out in the crease, no one around him. I think that shot was going his way.
Christian Fitzgerald trying to come away with it now in the far corner, and he does. Fitzgerald up for Dexheimer. Dexheimer waiting on the one-timer, but couldn't get it through the defenders.
Seawolves defense picking it up here. They're earning themselves some blocks.
Dexheimer sends it back around once again. Keep glancing down at the net of Tommy Scarfoni to see when he will come out. It's going to have to wait, though, as the Seawolves hold possession of the puck. Seawolves now sending it down right of the net of Scarfoni. That's going to be icing with 4:46 to play.
Awful lot of icing committed by Alaska Anchorage. If Wisconsin is able to get the equalizing goal, that's going to be the thing that I think they point to here. Just it feels like a lot of them have been just kind of avoidable. The instinct has been to let's just get it out of here. And while you understand the methodology there, it's kind of working against them.
Lindmark wins the draw quickly over for Schultz. Schultz on the left wing, shot coming in, and that one is wrapped up once again by Tyler Krivtsov. This has been absolutely spectacular performance from the freshman between the pipes. As we'll see another look here. Schultz with the long shot and just right into the stomach of Krivtsov.
His previous career high in saves was against Northern Michigan. 18 saves, also 2 goals allowed.
Here comes Schultz, and Schultz is going to knock it into the corner. Now it's up for Quinn Finley. Finley from the left side, and that one got through, but wide right of the net. Back up top for Dexheimer. Dexheimer is going to swivel around and send it off the boards as the Seawolves are able to clear the puck once again.
I mean, objectively, Evan, have you ever seen anything like that where your best career game is 2 goals allowed on 20 shots, and suddenly you've got yourself, how many saves is he at now?
Well, Wisconsin has 35 shots. That means he's at 35 saves.
Yeah, listed at that right now. So to say he's brought his best is an understatement here. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be some tough decisions here for Matt Chasby in the coming weeks. But I think that this young man to say he's earned himself some future looks in the crease regardless of the outcome of this game, I think that's becoming increasingly clear.
And he's played in just 4 games coming into this one. I mean, a very limited college career to this point, as Morrissey now backhands it for Kukkonen. Kukkonen trying to pass it into the slot. Coming away with it now is the Seawolves. Seawolves quickly sending it down once again. Daniel Losh trying to turn it around for the Badgers. Off the boards now up for Kukkonen. Kukkonen taking it in left side, passing it in for Gavin Morrissey.
Morrissey had 4 points yesterday, been awful quiet this evening.
Seawolves poke it free, and Joey Potter sends it out of their zone. It's going to float beyond the Wisconsin goal line where Tommy Scarfoni is out to greet it once again. Now 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the third period. Up for Quinn Finley. Finley racing in on the left side, takes it down behind the goal, trying to pass it in for Ryland Mosely, knocked back to the boards. 4 players fighting for it in the corner, but Anchorage comes away with it. Anchorage now knocking it down into the Wisconsin zone. Wisconsin hits it right back into the neutral ice. Now it's sent around, and an awkward hop as that one stayed right behind the goal of Tommy Kritsov.
Scarfoni's still in the net here. Got to think the Badger take possession back. He'll be out of there.
I'd agree with you there, Vince. 2:45 remain. Now Dexheimer behind the Wisconsin net. Dexheimer up for Quinn Finley. Finley's going to slow it down in the Wisconsin defensive zone. Gavin Morrissey takes it into the neutral ice, and Gavin Morrissey enters the attacking zone. Nice pass over there for Fitzgerald, up for Schultz. Schultz, the long shot is knocked down into the left corner. Now it's Cody Laskowski trying to take it back, but he can't do so. Floats up to Schultz, pass inside, a shot rebounds loose in front of the net. Bodies fall to the floor as the Seawolves clear once again with 2 minutes remaining, and Tommy Scarfoni is still in the net for Wisconsin as Fitzgerald is going to lob this one down behind the goal line.
Yeah, Badgers still have their timeout too.
Here comes Joey Potter. Potter up to the logo where he's going to send that one down to Scarfoni. And 1 minute and 40 seconds remain. Time is really ticking down here for Wisconsin.
And there goes Scarfoni heading to the bench.
Lindmark enters the zone, passes it back. Shot coming in from Finley, and did it get through? Oh, a scrum in front of the net. What is happening? The student section went nuts like it might have got through, but I don't think it ever went beyond the goal line.
Alaska Anchorage beat the Badgers. Shot differential was 42-20. Going to be something awful similar. The Seawolves can pull this one off.
Seawolves winning on the draw. The net is still empty for Wisconsin, but Dexheimer's going to be able to chase this one down no matter. Icing is called with 77 seconds remaining on the clock. The Badgers with an extra skater out on the ice, a 6-on-5.
And if you're Wisconsin here, this has not been the start of the season you wanted. 5-8 entering this game. You want to prove you're still that team? Now's your chance.
Lindmark wins it. Goes out for Dexheimer, over to Gavin Morrissey. Back up top for Dexheimer, and
net got undone.
Wow. What would have caused that with nothing going on in front of the net of Tommy Kritsov?
I think we'll see a good angle of it here. Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, just got jarred free, so now 72 seconds to go. Wisconsin still battling to tie this one up at 1. Finley comes away with it. Up at the left point now, over for Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey back up for Dexheimer. Dexheimer passing it down on the right side. Back Dexheimer, one-timer wide right of the net. Now behind the net, goes out into the right corner. 50 seconds remain here in this one. The Seawolves come away with the puck. Oh, he whiffed on the shot. Connor Cole had a chance at the empty netter. Dexheimer takes it back. Dexheimer left side, passing it up for Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey now down to the goal line for Mosely in front of the net. Can they finish it off? Not yet. Morrissey, one-timer. What a save from Tyler Kritsov. Oh my goodness, Tyler Kritsov diving as he snared that one out of midair. You can't make this up.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I know he's great in the crease. He could be a break dancer as well, going all the way up. You weren't sure if it got in there before. The Badgers, great job recognizing they had some room, and I don't know if that would have gone in or not, but the fact that we will not know the answer to that question is a testament to how fantastic a performance that we have seen.
I mean, that is an acrobatic save from Tyler Kritsov with just 31 seconds remaining. Badgers win it on the draw. It's Morrissey for Dexheimer over to the right side. Dexheimer still looking for that one-timer. 20 seconds remain. Shot coming, and they score! Wisconsin ties this one up with 19 seconds remaining, and that sends the Kohl Center into a frenzy. It's Ryland Mosely that was able to finish it off for Wisconsin, make it 5 straight games with the goal for Ryland Mosely, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time. It's 1-1. 5.4 seconds remaining in regulation. Wisconsin maybe with an opportunity, if they win the draw, to get one shot off on Tyler Kritsov. But instead, the Seawolves win the draw. They take it back. Time's going to expire here in the third period, and we're going to get free hockey here at the Kohl Center. Wisconsin tying it up with 19 seconds remaining in regulation. It was Ryland Mosely.
Yeah, it's just been fun.
So 3-on-3, Ben Dexheimer, Gavin Morrissey, and Ryland Mosely on the ice for Wisconsin.
Well, you have to say the 3-on-3 probably favors the Badgers here, but you can say the game has favored them as well.
Here comes Mosely. Mosely skating left side, takes the shot, rebound loose in front of the net. Dexheimer couldn't get there in time. Dexheimer now takes it out behind the net, sends it around the boards. Morrissey will let it slide into the neutral ice as Wisconsin prepares for a couple of changes.
Well, I'll say they've been experienced in overtime is an understatement. Badgers have played in 6 OT games this year, just 1 for Alaska Anchorage. Pardon me, 2.
Here comes Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey now dropping it off for Quinn Finley. Finley behind the net. Finley passing it up top for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald inside, save, rebound, and it's covered up by Tyler Kritsov.
Well, sometimes you wonder, a player loses that shutout suddenly in a different spot. Does that change the confidence a little bit? Doesn't seem to be the case for Tyler Kritsov, as that was an absolutely fantastic opportunity there. A laser, but able to knock it down and cover it up.
Fitzgerald with a chance to end it, but unable to do so.
And this is where possession is extra key, because you only got 3 people. That's going to give you an extra chance, more room to operate. So you got to think the Badgers, they've been controlling possession for so long. It's going to be big for them. That being said, the Badgers probably are going to be going all out for this win here, because they would consider a tie as not the desired result. So if you can take advantage of that, being extra aggressive.
Finley has it for the Badgers. Finley now dropping it off. Skating in is Losh. Losh loses the handle.
Here they come.
Do they have numbers? They're going to slow it down. Helgeson on the right side. Helgeson skating in behind the net. Helgeson pass in front of the net. They whiffed.
Oh man, Aiden Weston, just a clean look right there of a fantastic pass.
Here comes Fitzgerald up the right side. Fitzgerald had it knocked free. Helgeson, a long pass up the right side. Aiden Weston turns it over. Now it's Morrissey. Gavin Morrissey all alone. Morrissey saved by Tyler Kritsov, still loose, and that one's knocked out to the boards. Morrissey gets it back in front of the net. Morrissey trying to get it to his teammate, unable to do so.
Wound up working out well for the Badgers. David Morrissey down the ice, gets himself as 1-on-1 as it gets.
Johnson has it behind the Wisconsin net. Here comes Ryan Johnson around the left side. Johnson up top. Johnson looking for space, and that one wild to the left. It's going to float up the boards and back into the neutral ice, where Joey Potter has it for the Seawolves. Potter racing in right side. Potter, it's poked free by Ben Dexheimer. And the whistle blows as Joey Potter is down behind the Wisconsin net with 2:43 to play in OT.
Yeah, Potter got whacked. I think this is going to go on Wisconsin, so we're going to have 4-on-3.
We await the official call.
And on the other end there, Morrissey, to say that was a clean chance to game ender, understatement for him coming off a 4-point performance.
Yeah, Vince, I don't think we're getting a penalty call here. I think it's a play on. I think they stopped it just because
I think you're right.
Was down behind the net. So a drop in the neutral ice, still 3-on-3. 2:43 remaining in overtime between Wisconsin and Alaska Anchorage. Connor Cole on his knees trying to control the puck, but Gavin Morrissey takes it. Morrissey passing it back for Ryland Mosely. Mosely gives it up to Zach Schulz. Back off for Mosely. Mosely passing it for Gavin Morrissey. Morrissey skating in. Morrissey inside. Morrissey can't get it around Tyler Kritsov, but passing it now, it's loose in front of the net, and Kritsov falls on it at long last. There have been so many opportunities with a loose puck in front of the net, but each and every time, Kritsov has been able to find it in time to prevent the game winner.
Yeah, Gavin Morrissey heading back to the bench right now. He has his head sunken below. He tried to put on a move right there, but I think that Kritsov may have anticipated, did not bite at the initial attack. And on the wraparound, he is all over it.
Owen Lindmark taking the drop for Wisconsin, going up against Dimitri Kibru for the Seawolves. Lindmark wins the drop. It goes out to Logan Hensler. The freshman can't keep it within the blue line. He'll pass it back off for Quinn Finley. Badgers now taking their time. It's Hensler. Under 2 minutes to go in OT. Lindmark up the right side. Lindmark trying to move over to his left as Kritsov is going to come out and knock that one into the neutral ice. Dylan Contreras now turns it around. Contreras entering the zone. Off for Kibru. Kibru whiffed on the shot, and here comes Wisconsin. It's a 2-on-1. Lindmark on the left side. Finley. Finley shot wide right of the net. Lindmark and Finley had the 2-on-1, as now the Seawolves will slow it down.
Yeah, Wisconsin just did not look very fast out of that break. I felt like it was going to be as 2-on-1 as it gets, but slow a little bit, get the defense back into position, and wind up getting a look that's not quite as good as it could have been.
1 minute and 15 seconds remain. The Seawolves enter the Wisconsin zone. It's Aiden Weston. Weston behind the net. Weston down into the corner, trying to get it off for Helgeson. Helgeson, one-timer, and the stick broke. Oh, the stick of Finley broke. Here comes Wisconsin. Morrissey in front of the net, and his shot is no good. Morrissey had no one in front of him from close range. Quickly back up for Anchorage. Anchorage skating in to no avail as Helgeson loses the handle. 40 seconds remaining in overtime. Wisconsin has had everything but the back of the net. They've been oh so close on so many occasions. Here they come. It's Laskoski. The shot goes up and around the boards. 25 seconds to go in overtime. Here's Gunnar Van Dam for the Seawolves. Van Dam passing it up to the right side. Now racing in on the right side. A shot is covered up by Tommy Scarfoni with 13.3 seconds remaining in OT. Shot. Dexheimer can't handle it. 2 seconds to go. Shot from Morrissey is deflected, and this one is gonna go to a shootout.
Sure will go down as a tie in the books. You got a feeling that both these teams, you're gonna want that definitive result, even if it is purely one that's an exhibition.
It's McNarland to take the first penalty shot here for the Seawolves. McNarland taking it in on the right side, slows it down. McNarland saved by Scarfoni. Tommy Scarfoni denies Carter McNarland on the first penalty shot.
Awful lot of moves here by Scarfoni, the grad student, just not biting on any of them, and just able to slap it aside just enough.
And it's Quinn Finley out to take the first penalty for Wisconsin. Finley leads the team in goals this season. Here comes Finley on the right side. Finley scores! Quinn Finley gets it by the left pad of Tyler Kritsov, and Wisconsin now leads in this penalty shootout 1-0.
And now for Alaska Anchorage, it's going to be Ben Anderson coming on. The way he sees it, it's been the defense has been the story. Time to leave your mark on the offensive end.
Scarfoni comes out of the net. Here's Anderson. Anderson, oh, he scores. A beautiful move, goes to his backhand, and Ben Anderson ties up this shootout at 1 apiece.
That was nifty. Scarfoni was way out of the crease and just able to lull him to sleep, get him to commit, flip it back the other way.
Ryland Mosely will try and respond for Wisconsin. Mosely had the equalizer. Here's Mosely, and it gets through the 5-hole of Tyler Kritzov. Ryland Mosely gives the Badgers a 2-1 lead in the shootout, and if Tommy Scarfoni can make the save, Wisconsin will win the shootout.
It'll be Ryan Johnson, who's been red hot this year.
Johnson skating in. If Scarfoni saves it, Wisconsin will win. Here's Johnson. Johnson denied. Tommy Scarfoni knocks that one away, and Wisconsin will win the shootout against Alaska Anchorage. But it goes down as a tie, 1-1. Wisconsin with a goal with 19 seconds remaining.